Now on Sports Center all night.
Luka and the Mavericks facing the #1 team in the West without Kyrie.
Layup is on the way by Lawson, blocked against the glass by Porter.
Alabama and Tennessee face off in a top 10 battle in the SEC.
Has the ball top of the key, drives, gets to the basket, puts the shot up off the glass. Adu there to follow it up and put it in. Adu's everywhere.
Another key win for an unranked team.
With 5, Boo drives in, short jumper, good with 1.8. Cavs lead it.
The Kansas City Chiefs celebrating their Super Bowl victory.
I'll be honest with you, I don't know what rebuilding means. Not rebuilding you, we're world champs.
Plus, Tiger Woods prepares to tee off at the Genesis.
While Tiger has high expectations, he hasn't played golf in a competitive round in nearly 7 months.
This is Sports Center all night.
The haters were saying that the Chiefs would never make the playoffs.
Here's Jay Reynolds.
There's the Raspberry Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, Sirius XM Channel 80. We see some more chaos at the top of the college basketball world on Wednesday. We've seen a couple of losses for the Mavs, new key pairing on the court, and we've now seen LeBron return to the court. He missed 3 games for the Lakers, but was back on the court Wednesday for their home game against the Pelicans.
Reeves dribbling around a pick from LeBron. Reeves at the free throw line. Bounce pass. LeBron to the rim. Fell in a bucket. LeBron was cracked in the face and had the peace of mind to lay it in anyway. LeBron with Herbert Jones on it. LeBron leans in on Jones. Left-hand layup. Good. Boy, he took him to school on that one, and the Lakers lead by 20. 95-75.
Game's getting away from the Pelicans.
ESPN LA. Lakers a 120-102 win over the Pelicans, their 4th wire-to-wire win of the season. D'Angelo Russell, 21 points, 7 assists as the 5 new players made their home debut for LA. LeBron James, 21 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists in the win with his new teammates.
I think our skill set all kind of fit each other. With Vando and D'Lo and Bees, 3 guys that just know how to play the game. We all just trying to, get the ball popping, get the ball moving, have equal opportunity, and everybody's trying to play to their advantage out on the floor. So, tonight we had 32 assists. And our starting lineup was at 9, 14, 20, 22 assists in our starting lineup. That's huge. So, we want to try to continue that going forward.
Lakers with a much-needed win heading into the All-Star break. They're just 2 games out of a play-in spot and 4 games out of a playoff position in the tightly packed Western Conference. But that said, they're still 13th in the West, ESPN insider Brian Whithorst.
This roster is much better fit around LeBron and Anthony Davis. If this roster had been there from the start of the season, I think they'd be in the top 6 right now. And remember, you only got to be 3 or 4 games over 500 to be in that top 6. They've been at or over 500 since they started 2-10. The problem is they have to go around with the weight of the first 50 games that poorly constructed roster delivered. And so they now have no margin for error. They cannot afford to lose games in the upcoming days against teams that are going to be near them in the play-in. And so that is they absolutely should be able with this roster to make it, but they can't afford LeBron's foot injury to drag on. And that is now something that if LeBron comes out of this All-Star break and still has this issue and he's got to miss a couple more games and those are losses, they're already losing some distance between them and 10th place.
Lakers currently 27-32 heading into the All-Star break for LA. A night after making his home debut in Dallas, Kyrie Irving was on the bench as the Mavs were on the road in Denver to face the Nuggets. Luka Doncic did play. He had 37. The Nuggets, though, had their offensive weapons as well.
Layup is on the way by Lawson, blocked against the glass by Porter. Loose ball comes down to Jeff Green. Right side Porter 3. Yes!
Michael Porter Jr. has 22 in the game. Inside the arc, it's Nicola. Nicola hands off behind him to Casey. Down low, Joker layup good and a foul as well. Boy, he shot that thing completely off balance and knocked it home.
Altitude Radio Network as the Nuggets get a 118-109 win over the Mavs. Nikola Jokic, 14 points, 10 assists, 13 rebounds. His 21st triple-double of the season, tying Oscar Robertson in 1960-61 for the fourth most before the All-Star break in NBA history. Jokic, second player in association history to have 14 triple-doubles over a 14-game span. Russell Westbrook is the other. Nuggets get the win. They've got a record of 41-18 prior to the All-Star break. Best record of the All-Star break in franchise history. Grizzlies and Jazz.
Morant, 14 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists. That's 6 of 21 from the field. A tough shooting night. Morant into the lane, make it 7 of 22. He buries the little running right-hand floater. He's got 16. The Grizzlies with a 1-point lead in the ball. Morant with it. Agbaji now with 17. As Morant will go around the Clark screen. Downhill at Kessler. Little running right-hand floater. Touches up and in. John Morant with 18.
92.9 ESPN Memphis. As the Grizzlies got a 117-111 win over the Jazz. Grizzlies didn't trail in the game. 8th game this season with a wire-to-wire win. That's the most in the NBA. They had 12 wire-to-wire wins last season. 8 already this year. 20 points for John Morant on 8 of 26 shooting. 9 assists, though. 14 consecutive games with 20 points and 5 assists. In Brooklyn, good matchup between the Heat and the Nets.
Bridges turns the corner. Extra feeds, leads to Cam Johnson, and Bridges is open. Bridges.
Bridges is not human.
A new career high. Up for O'Neal. Shot clock winding down.
Bridges beats the buzzer. Michael Bridges. Major elevation.
What a play, but also the creation by Royce O'Neal, passing initially. This offense is flowing.
45 points for Bridges.
And that is a career high, as you heard on the Yes Network. Nets a 116-105 win over Miami. Bridges, 45 points on 17 of 24 shooting. Shooting at a 70% clip in this one. 9th player this season to score at least 45 while hitting 70% of his shots. Nets get the win over the Heat, and after the win, Bridges spoke with the Yes Network.
Mikel, it felt like you couldn't miss tonight. New career high for you, 45 points. What was the key, and how were you able to get it done?
Man, just being aggressive. My teammates found me. They trusted me. My coaches trusted me. But just getting stops and getting out in transition and just feeling it. You know, my teammates looked out for me, so I wouldn't have been possible without them.
And Coach told us during pregame that he's challenging guys to find that new identity. Describe the identity you guys are starting to grow.
Just playing together, man. Just all 48 minutes. You know, 5 guys, especially on that defensive end. I think that we could be a force down there, and then once we get stops, you know, all of us can play in transition. So I think just starting on a defensive end and getting out and scoring.
You told me the other night you wanted the Brooklyn Brigade to be louder. They were loud tonight. You heard Brooklyn Bridges throughout Barclays Center. How special is it to get a win in front of these Brooklyn Nets fans before All-Star break?
It's dope, man. I was saying all in the locker room, I want to get a win so I can enjoy this little week. So I appreciate you guys, man. Won't be possible without y'all.
And there's 45 points, lifting the Nets to the win over Miami, 116-105. Knicks, meanwhile, also get a win, 122-101 over the Hawks. Jalen Brunson, 28 points in the win. Trae Young had 19 in the loss for Atlanta. Celtics all over the Pistons.
37 seconds left in quarter number 3. Tatum behind the screen. Tatum for 3. Made another one.
And he got fouled by Wiseman. That's what he's complaining about.
6 threes for Tatum, 36 points. Tatum foul line, kicks to the corner. Williams back outside his Brogdon into the lane. Finds Tatum. There's the 2-hand flush and the exclamation point. 21-point game with 2:35 to go. Tatum with 38 points tonight.
And Tatum heading from distance and in close with that dunk. 98.5, the Sports Hub. Celtics roll over the Pistons. 127-109, 38 points for Jason Tatum. His 32nd 30-point game this season. That's the most in a season by a Celtic since Paul Pierce had 33 in the 2002 season. Pierce had 33. Jason Tatum right now has 32. Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio.
Purdue back in the bell, and for the first time ever, the New Wildcats have knocked off the #1 team in the country. They have defeated the Purdue Boilermakers.
It was last Saturday on Learfield that Northwestern sent a message to the college basketball world, knocking off then #1 Purdue. Northwestern back in action on Wednesday, hosting number 14 Indiana. Tight game in the waning moments Wednesday. Indiana getting a bucket with a half minute to go, tying the game at 62. Northwestern with the ball in the closing seconds.
With 5, Boo drives in, short jumper, good! With 1.8, Cats lead it. Put Trapino from midcourt, good if it goes, no good! Wildcats win! The Wildcats win! Boo buoying the game winner with 1.8, and the Wildcats sweep the Indiana Hoosiers.
So it sounded on Learfield as Northwestern wins it 64-62, getting that bucket in the closing seconds and getting the win for Coach Chris Collins.
With the true serum, I did not like our opportunity in overtime, guys. So I was like, this better go in. You know, fortunately it did. You know, he was magnificent down the stretch, and the atmosphere in there was incredible. It was just a big-time college atmosphere. And, you know, to be able to continue to withstand that run after being 19 up at half and them tie the game there, and then to come down and have the poise. We played it out. We didn't call a timeout. We had the ball in our guys' hands, and he was able to deliver. It was big time. We got a lot of flack the last couple of years. We were a team. We lost a lot of close games. We were kind of the team that was competitive but just couldn't get over the hump. And to see these guys just continue to stick with it, to be loyal to the program, be loyal to each other. You know, as a coach, it's been really fun for me to just kind of focus on the strategy part and the game plans and kind of be along for the ride with their leadership and to see the joy in their faces and our fan base. And, you know, we're a program that doesn't have a lot of history, doesn't have a lot of tradition, and that's great. You know, when you can be in a position to create history, you know, and I think we're doing that again this year, which has been really fun.
Northwestern with 4 straight wins against a ranked opponent as an unranked team. Longest streak by an unranked team this season. Northwestern and Indiana, the only game played on Wednesday in the Big Ten. Michigan State had originally been scheduled to host Minnesota, but that game was postponed in the wake of the fatal shooting at Michigan State on Monday evening. In the SEC, top 10 matchup in Knoxville. Number 10, Tennessee hosting top-ranked Alabama. Tied, ascending to the #1 ranking this week after Purdue's stumbles, and Alabama ranked #1 for the first time in 20 years. So the Vols amped up for this one. And the Crimson Tide wound up leading once, and it was early in the game. They commit 19 turnovers, and as for the Vols...
Meshack back to Ziegler by midcourt. 10 seconds to go on the shot clock. Miller's got Ziegler. Ziegler goes to the basket, throws it up and in with the left hand.
Over everybody. Little Zakai.
Bob Kessling on Learfield. In the end, Tennessee gets the win. It's a 9-point win over top-ranked Alabama. Tennessee actually favored in this one at home. Still, however, the 8th time this season we have seen a loss by a #1 ranked team. Tennessee winning at 68-59. Alabama's first conference loss this season. As for Ziegler, 15 points total, 8 assists in the win for Tennessee, and he spoke with our Alyssa Lang.
Zakai, you told me earlier today that you had no concerns about this team staying together as a team. How were you able to get this win tonight?
Well, we know this whole week we've been talking about brotherhood and staying together more, staying more connected, and not letting us losing by 2 buzzer beaters affect the next game. And we always got that next game mentality. And, man, we just stuck together for this game from start to finish, and we just saw what we could do.
Without Julian, without Josiah, how were other guys able to step up and fill that void?
Well, we were big on next man up, so whether it's 2 men down or 5 men down, we know no matter who's next up, they're going to be ready and step up to the plate.
What does this do for you guys, confidence-wise, going into the rest of the season?
It gives us a huge confidence booster because last 2 games, like I said, it brought us down a little bit, but we know that we can't let the previous games affect us. And, man, what can I say? What is a better feeling on being the #1 team in the country?
Tennessee gets the win at home, knocking off #1 Alabama. For Alabama, first conference loss of the season. In fact, Alabama becoming the last Power 5 men's team to lose a conference game this season. They heard the haters, and they responded. That's next. Sports Center All Night continues. It's ESPN Radio.
Coming up Thursday, as we all sit around and wait, pondering Aaron Rodgers' decision and his next move, I'll tell you which other quarterbacks need to find themselves a new home. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, ESPNU.
This is Sports Center All Night.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone, America's #1 brakes destination. We have the pads, rotors, drums, shoes, and brake fluids to improve your stopping power. Right now, save 15% when you get any 2 Duralast rotors with a set of Duralast brake pads. Missing a tool? Ask about our free Loan-A-Tool program and borrow the tools you need to get the job done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the MPD Group 2021. Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means, wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first-year cash back match. Only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
You can't miss a moment with Greeny.
You know how strongly I feel about the team that I follow in football, the New York Jets. If you need 25 things to win a Super Bowl, they've got like 22 of them. Overwhelmingly the most important one, they have the worst quarterbacks in the NFL as opposed to good ones. So the Aaron Rodgers thing is going to be a saga because he's so incredibly unpredictable.
Greeny, weekday mornings at 10 a.m. on 98.7 ESPN.
Hey, it's Michael K. I love when I get to talk about my friends at PC Richard & Son. It's a local company, family-owned. I trust them for my appliances, TVs, electronics, and a good night's sleep, too. Their experts use a 4-step mattress fitting process so that your new bed fits you perfectly. They guarantee it. During their President's Day sale, buy any Sealy mattress, $5.99 and up, and get a free TV up to 55 inches. And they deliver it for free. So do what I do. Get to PC Richard & Son, the local company you can trust for your new mattress.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Nice run. It's great being back out on the mountain. You sort of disappeared for a while. Everything okay? Between you and me, it was lower testosterone. Lower T? Yeah. The doc told me once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone, and that can make it harder to stay in shape. That's why I started taking Nugenix Total T. It's made a huge difference. Oh, I've seen that on TV. Is it for real? For sure. It's the #1 doctor-recommended testosterone booster. It boosts free and total testosterone levels to help you get back the drive and energy from your youth. My wife, my boss, my kids, everyone has noticed a change in me. Do they still give out complimentary bottles for people to try for themselves? Yes. Just send them a text.
Guys, text HATCH to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Nugenix is the #1 selling testosterone brand at GNC and Walmart. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back in shape fast, absolutely free. Text HATCH to 321-321. That's HATCH to 321-321.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Tara, quote, "My doctor wanted me to do saline rinses for my allergies, but I've never been able to successfully use a neti pot. Navage uses suction power, so it's foolproof. There are nights when I'll have particularly bothersome allergies. I'll bust it out, and the results are immediate. It's such a relief. It's become a lifesaver," unquote. She's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
The biggest names, the biggest games. They're all right here. This is 1050 ESPN, New York. Sports Center All Night continues with Jay Reynolds.
Bum ankle, leg that's been rehabbing for a couple of years. How will it hold up on Thursday? Sports Center All Night continues. It's ESPN Radio. That story straight ahead.
I'm fond of my time that I've had in Kansas City. It's a good, solid organization. I'm enjoying what I'm doing.
We get excited every year. The hot new young play callers, rising stars. Andy Reid has been that dude. He is that dude, and he's going to be that dude as long as he keeps coaching.
He always wants to win football games to get the best out of you. But at the end of the day, he's going to do whatever he can to make you a better man when you leave that locker room than when you stepped in it. I think that's why it makes him one of the greatest coaches of all time.
Chiefs, led by Coach Andy Reid, celebrating another Super Bowl title Wednesday along the parade route in Kansas City. Fans standing about 10 deep in some places to watch the buses go by, and Reid addressed the crowds of tens of thousands downtown.
Not very often are you able to say you're the greatest team in the world and have the greatest players in the world and have the greatest organization in the world and most of all, the greatest fans in the world. We love you, man.
Chiefs continuing to celebrate this one. Patrick Mahomes, meanwhile, says they're not done.
The AFC West said we were rebuilding. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know what rebuilding means. In our rebuilding year, we're world champs. We're world champs. I just want to let y'all know that this is just the beginning.
The haters were saying that the Chiefs would never make the playoffs. Everybody's asking, this is a dynasty. It's been a dynasty. Y'all just ain't know this till now. Believe that, feel that, and it's Chiefs Kingdom forever, baby. We love y'all.
Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce. Chiefs heard the naysayers heading into the season, and it was not a down year in Kansas City, obviously. But then it's Kelce who did toss out the dynasty word, ESPN's Kimberly A. Martin.
I think we're not quite there. It feels somewhat premature to say that. Because if you even think about it, was there not a Steelers team that won 2 Super Bowls in like within 4 years? Like we don't think of that. You don't think of the Steelers as like a dynasty back then. I think what is wonderful about Patrick Mahomes and these Chiefs is that they are well on their way to becoming one. But when the season started, there were people that questioned, like, will this offense even look right? Will they even know what to do without Tyreek? Like, they silenced those doubters. But this, when you look at the Patriots, it was like, okay, we can already pencil them in. We already know, like, there are no questions about Tom Brady and those teams. So I think not quite.
And as Kimberly noted, the Chiefs could eventually be viewed as a dynasty. ESPN analyst Alex Smith.
I mean, I think this win puts them in one of those teams we talk about, the teams of an era. You know, from my childhood, I remember the Dallas Cowboys of the early 90s. Like, they just went to 5 straight AFC championship games. That's unprecedented. 3 Super Bowls in 4 years. You know, they won 2 of them. I just think Patrick, they also at the helm, they have this guy. We've never seen anything like him. He is different. And in that sense, I think they've made their mark.
They made their mark in the second half of the Super Bowl. Certainly, we heard from Coach Andy Reid. He and offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy rallying the offense in the second half. Their 4 possessions featuring 3 touchdowns and the game-winning field goal at the end. That said, Bieniemy not getting a head coaching job this offseason. Here's our Keyshawn Johnson.
Matt Nagy got hired as a head coach under Andy Reid, and so did Doug Peterson under Andy Reid. And neither one called plays at the level that Eric Bieniemy did. Eric Bieniemy shared play calling duties with Andy Reid at times. Andy Reid called plays. Eric Bieniemy called plays. Eric Bieniemy installed. Andy Reid installed. So they shared responsibilities. Whatever it is that's out there about EB, we don't know. But we can't keep running to the black thing, the black thing, the black thing, the black thing. Can't keep doing that. Because at some point, they going to keep hiring black coaches, just not in an alarming rate like they hire white coaches. And we want to see more blacks hired. It ain't just about Eric Bieniemy, period.
Much more reaction to what we've seen to this point in the offseason, less than a week post-Super Bowl. Much more coming up this morning. KJ and Max, 6 to 10 Eastern time, followed by Greeny until noon. Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio. Some high-profile golf heading our way this morning. First round of the Genesis Invitational in L.A. We'll see Tiger Woods back on the course in the morning, competing. Wednesday, he was out there for most of the holes for the Pro-Am. ESPN's Mark Schlabach.
Tiger Woods was the first one off in Wednesday's Pro-Am, and it was cold. Despite the difficult conditions, Woods didn't show any problems until the 16th hole when he was limping more noticeably. Tiger picked up his ball and didn't play the final 2 holes. After walking off the green on the 18th, he didn't have any issues climbing the stairs to the scorer's table. The good news for Woods, temperatures are supposed to be warmer and there's supposed to be less wind in Thursday's opening round. The question going forward, of course, will Woods' surgically repaired right leg, right ankle, and right foot hold up over 72 holes?
Tiger Woods with an early tee time for the Pro-Am. He'll be able to hit the range before Thursday's round 1 during daylight. He tees off just around 3 o'clock Eastern time, noon in L.A. Tiger, Justin Thomas, Rory McIlroy, the 3 of them tee off at 3:04 Eastern. You can follow their entire round on ESPN+. Why pass up on a head coaching role in the NFL? That's next. It's ESPN Radio.
Grady. I believe if he announced today his retirement, he'd be a first ballot Hall of Famer. After 5 years, he's played 6 total. He's only actually been on the field for 5 of them. He would be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
At Progressive, we love sports and saving you money, so we bundled them together.
2 seconds left on the clock, third field goal range, and it looks like he's going to go with a 5-iron. No, wait. The quarterback is skating back on the ice. He's talking with his caddy. They're pulling the goalie. He skates off the fairway as the kicker lines off his putt. It's a breakaway. They bundled their home and auto insurance with Progressive. Touchdown savings, birdie goal.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discount not available in all states or situations.
How long does it take to tackle a home project? With Angie, you could cross it off your list before this ad is over. Just tell us what you need, indoor or outdoor, repair or redesign, and we handle the rest, sending a top pro to get it done. You don't have to lift a finger, except to tap the screen or click the mouse. Plus, Angie is free to use. So bring us your next home project, and we'll bring it home. Download the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com to get started.
The Michael K. Show is on.
Tim Legler, how do you look at this Knicks team?
I think the Knicks are a pretty good basketball team. I think they play hard. Jalen Brunson's ceiling is significantly higher than I ever thought it was coming out of Villanova, and I'll be the first to admit it. He is a big-time offensive player in this league, and he's a big game player. I really like their team, and I think they're positioned now to potentially get into that top 5, like you mentioned, which would be incredible.
Don't miss the Michael K. Show, weekdays at 3 on 98.7 ESPN.
Lowe's always has more ways for you to save. On top of our everyday low prices, pros can save big when buying in bulk. Or if your purchase is over $1,500, ask about our volume savings program. A pro associate can provide a customized quote. Ask about our volume savings programs today. It always pays to be a pro at Lowe's. While supplies last, minimum purchase required. Selection varies by location. Lowe's reserves the right to limit quantities. Volume discount pricing quotes are valid up to 7 days. Visit your local pro desk to learn more and start saving. Offers subject to change, may not be available in all Lowe's stores.
The Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xE. It's electrified.
Boogie, woogie, woogie.
So you can boogie, woogie, woogie into the forest.
Boogie.
Boogie, woogie, woogie through the mud. Or boogie, woogie, woogie to work, where you boogie, woogie, woogie down the hall to your boss's office to tell him you quit.
Sure got the boogie.
Then you boogie, woogie, woogie to the elevator as he boogie, woogie, woogies after you, begging, please, take me with you. The electrified Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xE. Learn more at Jeep.com. Jeep is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
I'm Martin Hope, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Josh, quote, after walking around my whole life being a mouth breather, I was excited to try Navage. I read the directions carefully, pressed the button, and oh my gosh, what a sensation. So much mucus, so much crud, but oh sweet, merciful air I can finally breathe you through my nose. Never have I ever taken such an amazing breath in my life. This is a life changer, unquote. He's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Every victory over cancer is worth celebrating. We Celebrate every life saved by donating to Save Another.
It may not save my life. It may save someone you love.
Because of all the donations, mine is one of the lives that's been saved.
Life is worth celebrating. That's why ESPN and the V Foundation will never give up. Please give. Learn more at v.org.
The all-new Weekend Wager comes to 98.7 ESPN on Friday nights at 10 p.m. It's presented by BetMGM Sports. Don't be left out of the action.
Sports Center All Night continues with Jay Reynolds.
Sports Center All Night presented by Progressive Insurance. For a job you'll love, visit progressive.com/careers.
Half-hour headlines on Sports Center All Night.
Alabama drops its first game in 20 years as a number 1 ranked team. Northwestern with another key win over a ranked team. Nuggets beating the Mavs. Nikola Jokic with another triple-double. And now the NFL everybody is planning for next season.
I think it's special. And listen, he's undersized, and that's going to be the whole conversation leading up to the draft.
Bryce Young has a chance to be a superstar. Bryce Young's accuracy, anticipation, and arm strength is rare.
He should be wearing a cape on the field with the things that he's able to do.
Young under pressure, escapes to his right. Young throws downfield as Brooks open at the 15, and he waltzes into the end zone. Touchdown. 41-yard touchdown.
I think he's a smaller version of Patrick Mahomes.
Focus on Bryce Young as to where he will go in the draft this spring. The Bears have the top selection, and they have Justin Fields. Todd McShay's mock draft 2.0 is now up on ESPN.com. He says he's banking on the Bears dealing that top pick.
I think Indianapolis is highly motivated to move up to that number 1 spot, to go get Bryce Young. Chris Ballard, the general manager, has tried the veteran route multiple times, and it just hasn't worked. So now bring in a young quarterback, a rookie, and develop around him. They have a good roster. You wouldn't know it by them picking a number 4 overall. They just haven't had the quarterback play to take it to the next level.
And that could change in this year's draft. Our Todd McShay says he sees Bryce Young as a smaller version of Patrick Mahomes. Colts have a new head coach. As we know, so do the Cardinals. Yet Arizona's job could have gone to Brian Flores, but he said no thanks.
There was still an opportunity with Arizona. Like I said, this was, you almost you get a gut feeling. I think we've all kind of had those that, this was the place for me and my family. This was the right opportunity.
Flores' decision coming with the backdrop of the lawsuit he filed just over a year ago, accusing the NFL and 3 teams of discrimination regarding his interview process. ESPN insider Adam Schefter.
I don't think he felt comfortable. And you saw there him say that he followed his gut. His gut led him to Minnesota. And think about this. About a year ago, he was out of football until Pittsburgh brought him back, added him to the staff. Now he's taking another step forward, becoming the defensive coordinator of the Minnesota Vikings. And it probably will be only a matter of time before he takes the next step again to become a head coach. And think about this. There were 5 head coach openings this offseason and this hiring cycle. That tells you that in the next hiring cycle next year, there might be 8, 9, or 10. And Brian Flores' name, if he does a good job in Minnesota like people expect, will come up again, and he will have more head coach consideration from teams beyond the Arizona Cardinals a year from now.
Defensive coordinator in Minnesota as opposed to head coach in Arizona, which was a possibility during this hiring cycle for Brian Flores. Instead, the Cardinals, like the Colts, went with coordinators from the Eagles. So now those spots will be turnovers in Philadelphia. Our Adam Schefter.
This is not an ideal spot to be in a few days after the Super Bowl, but the Eagles are prepared for it. On the offensive side of the football, their quarterbacks coach Brian Johnson was one of the most sought-after assistant requests to interview for offensive coordinator jobs. He would have gotten any number of those opportunities, and my guess is he winds up as the Eagles offensive coordinator, though they do have other qualified candidates on staff. On the defensive side, not as clear-cut as the offensive side. Their defensive backs coach, Denard Wilson, would be a candidate to be promoted to defensive coordinator, but they're going to take a longer look there, look around, see what the options are. One of the options, Vic Fangio, who helped them during Super Bowl week, was announced today as the new defensive coordinator of the Miami Dolphins. So that is no longer an option.
Eagles filling coaching needs this offseason. As for the Chiefs, who won the ring, where's their focus initially this offseason? ESPN analyst Marcus Spears.
When we talk about Patrick Mahomes, the premium is to make sure that you got him protected. That's one of the things we came away, not only this Super Bowl, but the season, that these guys did a phenomenal job. We talked so much about the high ankle sprain and his immobility, and we lauded him for being tough and powering through. But the reality is they kept Patrick Mahomes clean against Cincinnati after the ankle injury. They were able to run the football. We talked about Pacheco. We kind of lost sight of this offensive line and how well they played all season long. These two tackles, Wiley and obviously Orlando Brown Jr., need to be premium grade A number one. One, because of rapport. You want to keep this unit together. You want to make sure these guys understand how each other plays, and those guys value the fact that 15 is standing behind him, and they've already shown you that they can protect him even when he's limited physically.
Chiefs already planning for next season, even as they had their parade on Wednesday in Kansas City. SportsCenter All Night ESPN Radio. Jaguars wide receiver Calvin Ridley has applied to the NFL to be reinstated from his indefinite suspension for gambling. Wednesday was the first day he was eligible to apply for reinstatement. Here's our Keyshawn Johnson.
He came into the league in 2018, and he only got better each year. And I know he was suspended in 2021, but his best year in 2020, he accounted for 90 catches, a little bit over 1,300 yards, 9 touchdowns. That's about 16 yards average. So in terms of his route running capabilities, he can stop on a dime. He can give some change. I mean, he's a phenomenal catcher. He's a hand catcher, not a body snatcher. And I think that's extremely important. When you pair him with Kristen Kirk and Zay Jones, they stole in one from the Atlanta Falcons.
Jaguars traded for Ridley November 1st, sending the Falcons a 5th-rounder this spring and a conditional 4th-round pick in 2024. That pick could rise as high as a 2nd-rounder if the Jaguars sign Ridley to an extension. SportsCenter All Night ESPN Radio.
He'll dribble it up with 3 seconds, with 2 seconds. Bradley going to the basket, puts the shot up too late. It's over. And the Tennessee Volunteers have knocked off the number 1 team in the country. The Tide topples tonight at Thompson-Poling Arena as the Volunteers knock off Alabama. The second time in history that Tennessee has knocked off a number 1 team here in Thompson-Poling Arena. 6th time in history they've done it. And tonight, it's Alabama that goes down as Tennessee wins it, 68-59.
That's how it sounded on Learfield. Tennessee's 6-0 all-time against number 1s, 2-0 under Rick Barnes.
It's been a tough couple of weeks for your team. How are they able to bounce back and beat the number 1 team tonight?
Just a great effort all the way around for 40 minutes, and we beat a terrific basketball team. But when you've been in it this long, you always have to believe that what goes around comes around. And tonight it was a great night for us. But I'm just so proud of the effort our guys made, especially defensively, and crowd, most underrated crowd in college basketball, but a great win. Zakai Ziegler, Santi, I'm glad he went back up there and made those shots, but a great team effort.
Your players pride themselves so much in playing that relentless defense that you coach. You mentioned it, but how were they able to be so relentless tonight?
Well, I got to give it to them. They stayed connected even over the last 2 games. They stayed connected, and just really proud of the effort. You know, we played hard in the other 2 games. It didn't go our way. Tonight, it did.
What does this do for this team moving forward?
Well, it's February. We won to Kentucky, then on down the line. It doesn't get any easier. We just got to get better.
Tennessee with the 68-59 win over number 1 Alabama. Tennessee scoring 26 points off 19 Alabama turnovers. SEC Network analyst Damian Fishback.
I saw the defense of Tennessee. That's an elite defense, number 1 in the country. And I saw a very physical defense, and I thought it was a lesson. Everywhere they go on the floor, Tennessee is making them feel them. There's no room for movement on that sideline. It's similar to what I saw in the Oklahoma game. This is a question you're going to have to answer if you're Alabama. Alabama cannot afford to pay attention to whether it's called or not called. If you're Alabama and you want to win 6 games in March, you have to learn to respond to this physicality. You have to be tougher, both physically and mentally, if you want to be able to win a national championship game. If you're the Crimson Tide, give all the credit to Tennessee. They were the more physical team. They dominated points in the paint. They turned Alabama over, and as a result, knocked off another top 5 team in Knoxville.
Alabama's first conference loss this season. The 12-0 start was the Tide's second best in SEC history. They had gone 14-0 back in 1955. Kentucky, a 71-68 win over Mississippi State. Big win for Kentucky. They had entered the day, according to our Joe Lenardi, as one of his first 4 out. The win over Mississippi State moves Kentucky into the tournament field at this point. Oscar Tshiebwe, 18 points, 11 rebounds in the win.
He knows I work on them free throws every single day. And a couple games we play, these couple 5, 6 games we play, I've been making good free throws. So he said, we're going to trust you, Oscar. We're just going to let them follow you.
Oscar, you got a little bit of foul trouble today. What do you do just to stay locked in on what you need to do to help the team win, even though you're battling staying on the court?
I just got to do what I got to do. Sometimes I make a mistake, but you got to stay strong to help this team. This team really need me. We need each other for us to win a game like this.
You know, Oscar, you come into this basketball game, no Xavier Wheeler, no C.J. Frederick, yet you find a way to win the game. What does that say to you about this Kentucky Wildcat team?
We have a good team. We have a good team. One thing I told all of them is just we got to keep fighting. We got to keep fighting. No matter who's missing, we cannot lay down. We just got to come in ready to play. So today was good. We pray, we give thanks to God because he helped us today.
And with the win, according to our Joe Lenardi, they are on the good side of the March bubble. What a finish in the Big East for number 11 Marquette and 16th ranked Xavier.
Marquette down a point. We got 8 seconds left. Now in the French court, Cam Jones.
They can't foul. You got to be aggressive.
Left. He's going all the way to the basket. He missed it.
We got it in.
We got the jump it in with 1.6 left. Marquette over points. Oh, Max Prosper. Historic.
Marquette gets the win, 69-68 on that last-second bucket. They now have a game-and-a-half lead in the Big East. They're 14-1 at home this season. Steve True from Learfield with the call. Number 19, Iowa State, a 70-59 win over 22nd-ranked TCU. TCU's lost a season-high 4 straight games after a 17-5 start. Iowa State, just their second win in their last 6 games overall. Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio. Certainly a rocky stretch for the folks at New Mexico State. A brutal stretch for some at New Mexico State. The men's basketball program has been shut down, the head coach losing his job, and the school's chancellor is in disbelief.
Dan Arvisu's emotions echoed the ones many around New Mexico State had when he first learned last Friday of the damning allegations of hazing and sexual assault in his men's basketball program. The New Mexico State chancellor believes the team failed the alleged victim.
It feels like a gut punch. As a parent, as an administrator, as a member of our community, with my alma mater, I'm both disgusted and I'm angry.
Last week, a member of the men's basketball team filed a report with campus police alleging that on multiple occasions in the locker room, 3 teammates held him down, removed his clothing to expose his buttocks to slap them, and touch his genitalia. The alleged victim declined to press charges, but even without them, Arvisu read enough in the report to cancel the remainder of the team's season and fire head coach Greg Heyer on Tuesday.
This is not what anybody anticipated for students coming to our institution. And when that outcome is not what we desire, it behooves us to take full and strong action.
Arvisu stood by athletics director Mario Mocha's handling of the hazing incident, as well as Mocha's handling of the November shooting involving Aggies forward Mike Peake. According to police, Peake shot and killed University of New Mexico student Brandon Travis in self-defense. The shooting and the coaching staff's actions immediately after it are still being investigated, as is the hazing incident. Mocha said Wednesday these events won't slow plans to field a team next season.
Our focus right now is not to rush out and seek a new coach. We're trying to get a resolution to this circumstance, but we certainly intend on playing men's basketball next year.
While there currently are no criminal charges against the alleged assailants in the hazing case, I've been told that the district attorney's office here is, quote, watching and waiting to see if the opportunity to file those charges comes. In Las Cruces, New Mexico, I'm Coley Harvey, ESPN.
Still many moving parts in the New Mexico State story. Can you see the diamond without diamond? That's next. Sports Center All Night continues. It's ESPN Radio.
Coming up Thursday, after watching the Union, the Phillies, and the Eagles reach the top of their respective sports and lose, I'll tell you why the pressure is now squarely on the shoulders of Doc Rivers and the 76ers, Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio, E2, and ESPNU.
More Sports Center All Night. Next.
The Bart and Hahn Show.
This is New York. We're supposed to expect the best. I'm going to offer you 3 doors. You don't wait, and you take what's behind door number 2 or door number 3, which is Derek Carr, who's available now, or Jimmy Garoppolo, who will be available as a free agent. Door number 1 is obviously Aaron Rodgers. But here's the caveat. If you open the door and he comes out of his darkness retreat and says,
I'm not going to New York.
And your consolation then has to be Ryan Tannehill.
Bart Scott and Alan Hahn. Weekdays at noon on 98.7 ESPN.
Peter Rosenberg here to tell you about my friends over at Bath Fitter. They remodeled my bath. They did an incredible job, and it was customized for my specific needs. The process was easy, one installer, and done in as little as 1 day. No demolition needed, which keeps the cost down. And Bath Fitter is a permanent solution, not a cover-up, not a Band-Aid, and you get a lifetime guarantee for as long as you own your home. 38 years in business and over 2 million happy customers just like me. For a limited time, get no interest, no payments for 12 months, and start designing your bath today like I did at bathfitterdesign.com. There's only one Bath Fitter.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. A Jacuzzi bath system fits in your existing tub space. It's a no-mess installation with an amazing style selection, factory-certified installers, and a limited lifetime warranty. Call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599 right now and get 50% off installation with no interest and no payments for 12 months. Replace that old bathtub today with a walk-in shower for a safer bathing experience. If you have lived in your home for over 15 years, it's time to remodel your bathroom. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599. 800-717-4599.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
The biggest names, the biggest games. They're all right here. This is 1050 ESPN, New York.
Sports Center All Night continues with Jay Reynolds.
We're taking you to Key, Jay, and Max, 6 o'clock Eastern time here on ESPN Radio. Sports Center All Night presented by Progressive Insurance. Despite the impending bankruptcy of Diamond Sports Group, that's the company that owns Bally's 19 regional sports networks, fans will not have their ability to watch their favorite teams play. Commissioner Rob Manfred saying on Wednesday that baseball would pick up streaming in a worst-case scenario. MLB, with 14 teams that pull in a lot of revenue through the regional sports contract with Diamond Sports Group, could be severely impacted, though. The big news in baseball this week, the new look that we'll see this season, we'll continue to see the extra inning setup with the runner at second, but we'll see bigger bases, which have been compared to pizza boxes, and pitch clocks in the ballparks. ESPN's Jeff Passan.
There's some skepticism among players, but I think they all understand that this was an inevitability. The average game time in Major League Baseball was 3 hours, 7 minutes last year. It was 3 hours, 11 minutes the year before. And with testing in the minor leagues last year, with the pitch clock in particular, the average game time dropped about 25 minutes. Now, it's not just the time of game that Major League Baseball is looking at. They're looking at the pace of it as well. They realize the athletes in baseball these days are better than they have ever been before. So why not try and go back to that 1970s, 1980s brand of baseball where you have stolen bases and where you have defensive plays and where all of those things are priorities as opposed to the home run ball becoming such an enormous part of the game now. I think the combination of those two things, players understand, even though it's going to be uncomfortable to start off with, they'll get used to it like they do all the other rules. And in the end, it'll be best for the game.
And we have spring training starting to get underway now. Back to the NBA. Sixers, a 118-112 win over the Cavs. Joel Embiid, 29 points. 29th double-double of the season as he added 14 rebounds as well. Sixers led by as many as 28 points. They're 8-0 this season when having a 25-point lead. James Harden, 19 points, 12 assists, his 26th double-double of the season. Meanwhile, the futility continues.
10-point lead now for the Hornets with 5 seconds to go in the ball game. And Branham will get it into Keldon Johnson, and Johnson will dribble it out. And the Charlotte Hornets have swept the San Antonio Spurs this season. And the Spurs have dropped their 14th consecutive game, a franchise record, as the Spurs fall tonight to the Charlotte Hornets.
14-game losing streak, longest in franchise history. They've lost 19 of their last 20. Oh, by the way, LaMelo Ball, 9th career triple-double in the win. But from a 14-game losing streak to Wednesday's top sounds, let's check in with Steve Lennox.
Number 5.
Jay, we start with the NBA. Mikal Bridges had a night in the Nets' home victory against the Heat. Bridges with the dunk in the fourth quarter and the call from the YES Network.
Dinwiddie. Out for O'Neal. Shot clock winding down. Mikal Bridges. Major elevation.
What a play, but also the creation by Royce O'Neal, passing initially. This offense is flowing.
45 points for Bridges.
Number 4.
Sixers at home in Philly against the Cavaliers. Joel Embiid reaching a career milestone in the first quarter. Tom McGinnis had the call on 97.5, the Fanatic.
Now he goes to Embiid against Mobley, driving, gets tripped up, whistle, foul. They're going to count it, yes. Evan Mobley was guarding Embiid. Embiid with 10,000 points, career points in franchise history. And that's the fastest Sixer ever to do it.
Number 3.
Sticking with the NBA theme, Pacers notching a home victory against the Bulls, and Buddy Hield establishing a new franchise record with this 3. The call, 107.5 and 1070, the Fan.
Outside Turner on top, Neesmith, left edge. Here's Hield, and he just set a single-season Pacer record for three-point field goals, breaking Reggie Miller's that had stood for over 20 years, and he's tied the game at 106. 26 points, all in the second half.
Number 2.
And we close with not one but 2 game winners from college basketball. First up, Northwestern knocking off 14th ranked Indiana. The call from near field.
With 5, Boo drives in, short jumper, good! With 1.8, Cats lead it. Hood torpedo from midcourt, good if it goes, no good. Wildcats win. The Wildcats win. Boo booing the game winner with 1.8, and the Wildcats sweep the Indiana Hoosiers.
Number 1.
From the Big Ten to the Big East matchup of the night, Marquette with a game winner in the closing seconds against Xavier. Steve, true the call from near field.
Marquette down a point. We got 8 seconds left. Now in the front court, Cam Jones.
Can't foul. You gotta be aggressive.
Left. He's going all the way to the basket. He missed it.
Oh, he got it in.
He got the shot in with 1.6 left. Marquette have a point. Kovac Prosper. Historic.
Marquette, 14-1 at home this season. 5th straight home game decided by single digits. Genesis Invitational teeing off this morning in L.A. PGA Tour trying to adapt to its life With Live Golf in the picture, Rory McIlroy says the tour should build around its stars like the NBA has done. ESPN's Mark Schlabach.
I just think the PGA has to be careful. I think they have to take care of the guys at the top, the Rorys, the JTs, the Schefflers, those guys. But I think you also got to be careful that you don't squeeze out the majority of your membership by taking these designated events like the Genesis and the WM Phoenix Open and making them limited field, no-cut events. You know, all I keep hearing is the best guys need to be in those tournaments.
Rory McIlroy taking to the course today with Justin Thomas and Tiger Woods. Heck of a group for round one. They tee off at 3:04 Eastern time, follow their entire round on ESPN Plus, or grab a second device and stream an entire day of the Clearwater Invitational, high-level college softball, all weekend on ESPN Plus. That's going to do it for Sports Center all night. I'm Jay Reynolds. It's Thursday, February 16th, birthday of Jerome Bettis. The Steelers Hall of Famer is 51 today. One more night of NBA action before the All-Star break. Key, Jay, and Max have it all. They're next. It's ESPN Radio.
Coming up next, Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max on ESPN Radio and ESPN2.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. You know, changing your oil with a full synthetic oil like Pennzoil Platinum can help your engine get more miles. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP Extended Life oil filter for only $37.99. Get started on your next job today with the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Angie's List is now Angie, and we've heard a lot of theories about why.
I thought it was an eco move. Fewer words, less paper.
No, it was so you could say it faster.
No, it's to be more iconic.
Must be a tech thing. But those aren't quite right. It's because now you can compare upfront prices, book a service instantly, and even get your project handled from start to finish.
Sounds easy.
It is, and it makes us so much more than just a list. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Mornings with DiPietro and Rothenberg.
If the Jets don't get Aaron Rodgers, I lose my mind, unless you get Lamar Jackson.
Derek Carr's not bad, but I don't know if Derek Carr wants to be a Jet.
What are you doing with Derek Carr?
Oh, I think you're a playoff team.
I agree with that. I think you have a real chance to compete for a Super Bowl. Is it crazy to think that your team can compete for the AFC if you add Aaron Rodgers and draft well this offseason?
No, I don't think it's crazy.
DiPietro and Rothenberg, morning 6 to 10 on 98.7 ESPN.
Lowe's always has more ways for you to save. On top of our everyday low prices, pros can save big when buying in bulk. Or if your purchase is over $1,500, ask about our volume savings program. A pro associate can provide a customized quote. Ask about our volume savings programs today. It always pays to be a pro at Lowe's. While supplies last, minimum purchase required. Selection varies by location. Lowe's reserves the right to limit quantities. Volume discount pricing quotes are valid up to 7 days. Visit your local pro desk to learn more and start saving. Offers subject to change, may not be available in all Lowe's stores.
And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
It looks like your luggage is over 50 pounds. Is there anything you can take out?
Oh, yeah. Let me just toss all these $20 bills.
Great. Let me grab you a trash can.
Stop. Instead of throwing money away, move some clothes into a carry-on. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-605-2299. 800-605-2299. That's 800-605-2299.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep your operation running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, Maria in Miami, and Jules and Troy, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with high-quality supplies for every industry, plus real-time product availability and access to experts ready to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.